In today's video, I want to talk about a very important and talked about topic, and it is the Holocaust, guys. In the last few months and years, especially since October 7th, Holocaust revisionism, Holocaust denial has gone everywhere. And I'm here to talk about those things and the Holocaust in particular, but it's going to be a more logical conversation. It's going to be about whether things could have happened or could not have happened. I'm not going to go in depth about the details of the Holocaust and things surrounding it because I don't have that type of knowledge, but it's going to be a very logical conversation about the Holocaust because that's the topic of the day. As you all know, and actually, I'll tell you what I think. After a particular event in history happens, or let's just start by the roots of this. In every country in the world, history is taught and shared in a different manner and conveyed differently. In Italy, there's gonna be certain things about a certain topic, and they're gonna differ from the things about that topic in France. Let's take the Holocaust since it's the main topic of the video. The way the Holocaust is taught in France, and I've been to none of these countries, so I don't know, but I'm just assuming, and I'm 99.9% correct. If you look at the history books that are used to teach children in Germany, Italy, France, and Spain, they're all gonna have different things. They're all gonna have different pieces of information written. And that is perfectly normal because it's different countries and because, of course, in Spain you will prioritize parts about Spain, in Italy you will prioritize parts about Italy, in France you will prioritize parts about France. So it's quite obvious, and it should be that way. But that also opens the door to the fact that the way events have happened is narrated differently. Because I can say one thing in a way, and I can say one thing in another way. And that changes the whole perspective, and that changes the way people perceive it. And these are communication techniques, by the way, and strategies. I can say, for example, women can drive, which is very abrasive. Or I can say women are not particularly inclined to maneuvering an automobile as well as men. Like, they sound extremely differently. That's the bottom line of it. So I can say one thing in a way and it will have an effect, and I can say another thing in another way, and I can say the same thing in another way and it will have a completely different effect. Another thing I want to add to this castle is the fact that history books are written by the winners. Okay, the winners shape the history books. And that means, I think it to be true because they're the winners, they get to choose what to do. They're the ones who have won and have more power. And that means that they get to choose the way things are written. That's the way it works. With all this being said, the main point is that, yes, Holocaust revisionism, just like the revisionism of any other event in history, is a plausible theory, logically speaking. This is a bombshell. I'm being extremely controversial, but actually, I think it to be true, so I'm gonna say it. And if you disagree with it, comment and share your view. So, Holocaust revisionism, just like the revisionism of any other topic, is plausible, logically, from a logical standpoint. We have said this. Now let's talk about why Holocaust revisionism and Holocaust denial was sparked since October 7th. The reason is very simple. And I'm saying this in the most unbiased way possible. In fact, I'm not even going to talk about the specifics of the action that have been taken by both sides of the conflict in Gaza. But anti-Semitism has gone up, and anti-Judaism, and therefore Holocaust revisionism and then Holocaust denial, those things have gone up because when people see the actions that, when people see the consequences of war, they have a very strong reaction. And those are people who are not particularly smart. Because I will make an example here of myself so that I don't mention anyone else and I do any type of reputational damage to me and not to anyone else. I'm not doing any reputational damage. Frankly, I don't think I am. But what I'm trying to say is that someone who's got an ability to think critically can differ the actions of a small group of people to a whole people. I despise what Netanyahu is doing in Gaza. I've called him a war criminal. He's committing a genocide in my opinion. And the fact that he's starving people to death is despicable. Concurrently, I'm not anti-Semitic because I don't hate Jews just because they're Jewish. I don't hate any race based off of the fact that they are that particular race. I frankly do not hate Jews. And hating Jews because of what Netanyahu is doing is a very silly thing. Very silly. And that's what stupid people do, in my opinion. They hate on a group of people just because some representatives and some people of that populace are doing bad things. Another thing that I disagree with strongly, and I think happens to be stupid, is hating Russians because of Putin's actions. You can hate Putin's actions and what he's doing and think he's a war criminal and think he has illegally invaded a country. And I can agree with that. But then hating Russians just because of Putin's actions is wrong and stupid and doesn't lead to any good solution whatsoever. But as I said at the beginning of this point that I'm now trying to make, if people see the images of war in Gaza and obviously know that they are caused by the response of the Israeli government after Hamas attacking them on October 7th, given they see those pictures, given they see destruction, given they see children dying, very stupid people, and it's actually a majority, or at least 30%, will go, oh, I hate Jews. The Holocaust didn't happen. Jews should burn in hell. Jews should die. And that's a very stupid thing. So this is the main reason why Holocaust revisionism and Holocaust denial are going up. And this is the main reason, by the way, why anti-Semitism has risen. Why? People see the images in Gaza and say, I hope Jews go and die in hell. And this is what the majority of people says, because the majority of people hasn't developed critical thinking. They can't critically think. All of you, because I've never had any interaction like that, all of my fans, including myself, can critically think. As I said, I despise Netanyahu and his actions. I don't hate the Jews. I don't hate them. And nothing's gonna make me hate them based off of the fact that they're Jewish. Very simple. So with this being said, these are the reasons why Holocaust denial is going up. This is why the Holocaust is talked about. Now, I want to talk about another thing which is very important. There is a very big scandal and mystery around the Holocaust. It's one of those things which, if you question it, you get a very big backlash. And this is obviously because people don't think critically. Me questioning the Holocaust, or even less than that, me being open to questioning the Holocaust, doesn't mean I'm a Holocaust denier. Doesn't mean I'm a Holocaust revisionist. It doesn't mean that I believe that killing in concentration camps and exploiting in concentration camps people is justifiable. I don't believe in those things, and this is a general I. But people don't think critically. So I am very in favor of questioning historic events. And when I see the whole big mystery and scandal and controversy around questioning a specific event, then you are obviously prone and inclined to digging into it. What I want to say to the Jews specifically is push your representatives to, if you're so sure the Holocaust happened the way it is said, that's what I think Jews should say to the representatives, then open up the possibility to question it without threatening cancellation, without threatening destruction and violence. Question, if you're so sure, the representatives of Israel should say, okay, go question the Holocaust. It happened the way we say it happened. Question everything you want to question, but we are correct. That's what confident people say. If I believe 100% in something, I'm going to be very confident. For example, if I believe that immigration restrictionism is good, then I'm like, okay, let's debate it. I'm going to tell you why it's good. If I'm not confident, I'll say, let's not talk about this. Because of course I don't know what to say to defend my thesis. So that's also another reason why Holocaust denial is going up. Because if questioning it brings to people being shamed and attacked brutally just for questioning a historical event, then they're going to be like, okay, there's something to study here, so I want to study this, and fuck you. And I think it's certainly understandable way some people are reacting in this way. So this is my whole opinion about the Holocaust. To sum it up, because I want to sum it up and say it briefly, I'm not a Holocaust denier. I'm not a Holocaust revisionist. I'm not even a Holocaust mainstream person. By that I mean, I haven't studied the Holocaust in detail. I don't know the specifics of how it happened. So I don't know much. And in this video, I have not said the Holocaust happened in a way. I have not said that. I've just broken down why Holocaust revisionism is going up, is becoming mainstream, and I've broken down the reasons and the wrongdoings of the representatives of Jewish people. I have pointed out that slandering, canceling, and threatening are not the correct ways to deal with this. That's all I've done. Now, I'm sure this video can get to me being called names, and I'll be fine with it. I don't care. But to sum it up, I would say a few things. Actually, I would just sum the whole video up. That's the whole purpose of summing it up, isn't it? First thing, given that winners shape the narrative, it is plausible that since the non-Nazis won World War II, given that it is plausible that the amount of deaths in the Holocaust has been hijacked to make people believe the Nazis were worse than they actually were. It's plausible from a standpoint of logic. And I'm not stating whether it's true or false. I'm stating that it's plausible from the standpoint of logic. Number one. Number two, since people see the actions of the Israeli government in Gaza, and since people see broken buildings, broken hospitals, children assassinated, and people starving to death, anti-Semitism and anti-Judaism has gone up because people who don't have the ability to critically think will go on and criticize every Jewish person, every Israeli, for the actions of Netanyahu and his government. And the last point I made is that if you're so sure about the way something happened, you should not be afraid of people questioning it. And that indicates that you're not certain of your thesis because you're using cancellation in order to discourage your dissidents from going against you. And that is a sign of weakness, and that is a sign of uncertainty. And the last point I will make and add is the fact that questioning historical events, irrespective of how bad they are, irrespective of how important they are, should not be made illegal, because that's a violation of freedom of speech, first things first. Second thing, it should also not be something that we tell people not to do. We should actually encourage people to question everything as long as they're not satisfied with the answers they come up with, and as long as they don't get a full view of what has happened. In my opinion, we should always question what we're told, irrespective of the source we get information from. So I would like all of you to question everything I've said in this video and think about the things I've said and say, is he right? Do I agree with him, or do I think he's wrong? That's the way society should work, and that's the way things should be done. So us, as the people, should fight for our ideas, should fight for our beliefs, and should fight to have things the way we want to have them. Fearlessly and without being intimidated. That's the way forward. And I'm saying this as a human, not as a person of a specific ethnicity and nationality. So please fight for your ideas. And if you think I'm wrong, correct me and tell your opinion. Don't be shy. And we will have debate. And this is the way society should work. But sadly, it doesn't work that way. Thank you all for listening. See you soon and take care. Bye-bye.